Hey guys, Messy Nessie here. I'm coming to you from my brand new work area. We have done some rearranging in the house so that I can finally work inside and no more complaining about the heat. So I had an idea for a pretty picture. So I was thinking that on this canvas, this is a 12 by 16 stretch canvas back stapled. And I wanted to do a Dutch pour, and then I want to take this really pretty silver feather and encase it in resin on top of the Dutch pour. I think that would be very pretty. So I've been experimenting with house paint lately. I've been finding these mist tints at the Lowe's and Home Depot, and they're like $1. And it's awesome, and you get like a whole little jug of paint for like $1, and a whole gallon's like $9 for the mist tints. And I've been like, well, paint's paint, so let's give it a go. So I mixed this mist tint, which basically looks white to me, with some Floetrol for the background. And I've done a couple experiments so far with the house paints, and it seems to dry just as fine as any of the other paints I've been using. But I was looking in my craft stash and I found these really pretty silver feathers. I don't even know where I got them. I think maybe Hobby Lobby? You know, they do their last ditch effort to get rid of stuff at like super discounted prices. And that seems like something I would be into. So, let's try and get this. Oh, a piece of dog hair already? My word. Yep. That's how you know you have dogs in your house. It just gets on everything. I think I'm going to need a bit more white. I'm going to pause it, make a little bit more white, and I'll be right back, guys. Alright friends, we are back. I made a little bit more white, and again I took this Sherwin-Williams color sample mist tint. That's just like a white color. And I mixed it with some Floetrol. And I'll be putting this piece under resin, so it doesn't really matter what the finish is on this, because it's going to be shiny in the end. So let's get a little bit more white on here. Let's take it back, move it forward. I'm trying not to be wasteful, but that is not happening. I'm trying to get all the edges covered. So I've been working outside, and quite honestly, sometimes after just filming like one video, I would come in and I would be so exhausted and miserable. I'm like, it's so hot. It's like 100 degrees outside. So my boyfriend and I were talking about how we have everything in the house, and so we rearranged a whole bunch of like little things in each and every single room. And one of our rooms right now is kind of like a storage area, and we made it to where we can have part of this room be for crafting, which is awesome. So now I have like, it's not the biggest space in the world, but it's better than being outside in the 100-degree heat all the time. Alright, I'm gonna pause it, clean my hands, and I'll be right back. Alright, so the colors I chose are going to be blues, purples, and rose gold. Since we're putting it under resin, I definitely want to try and use some color shift paint and some metallic paint. It's just going to be so pretty underneath that shiny resin. So this one is Ocean Green by Master's Touch, and these are just my normal little bottles. I put paint in there. I put Floetrol in there. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of water, but not too much and not generally. This one's Cobalt Blue by Artist Loft Flow Acrylics. This guy is a light purple home mix. So I just take purples that are light colored and I put them in here. I'm always shopping whatever's on sale, so it may not always be the same exact brand, but it is always going to be an acrylic paint of some sort. This one's Folk Art Color Shift from Blue to Violet. I thought going with the color scheme, this would be an appropriate color shift to use. And then a couple little dots of black, just for a bit of depth here and there. And some rose gold, because there is nothing like a little bit of pink with your purple and blue. A couple little dots here or there. Alrighty. Let's see. And then we add a little bit of paint right here. And now the blow dryer part. Oh, looking pretty. Let's see. Let's add a drop of white right here. So with the Dutch pour, what you're doing is you make your paint very liquid. So my bottles, before I started, I added a little extra Floetrol to them. And then you plop all your colors, depending on how you do it, because there's different patterns you can do. But you plop your colors onto a background color. In this instance, I chose white. And you put a little extra paint where you're going to use your blow dryer, and that will help you move the paint around the canvas. And then I'm not perfect at them, though I do make some pretty ones, and I usually will fiddle with it a little bit till I get where I want. And generally want to try and have some negative space, which is the non-colored portion in the back. Yeah, I like that a little better. I know you're supposed to have negative space, technically, but I'm not always the biggest fan of it. Oh, that looks just so pretty to me. Okay. Let's see what we're working with here. We've got a lot of cells popping up over here, right over here. Those are the dots that are popping through the paint. And the different viscosities of the paint, how thick they are, is what's going to give you the cells in these types of pours, because you're generally not going to use a silicone in the paint. That disrupts the viscosity of it, which makes the cells pop through. And you've got a few over here as well. I love this blue right here. I definitely am trying not to disturb that. But this little part right here, off to the side, oh, I don't think you can see it quite. There we go. This little part right here, I don't like that. So I'm just going to actually add a drop of the color shift into this corner and blow it through this part. All Alrighty. I love this blue. I like that there's just a little bit of negative space. I'm not the biggest fan of like big, large areas of negative space. The black gave it a lot of depth. The color shift paint is gorgeous. When it gets underneath the resin, you'll definitely see all the flecks of the color changing. The rose gold, it's so shiny. And when you blow it around the canvas like this, you'll have moments of it laying on top of other colors. And when you put the resin on top, it really makes it almost look kind of like 3D, like it's sitting on top of this other piece. Alright guys, I'm going to stop messing with it. We're going to let it dry, and then in a future video, I will show you guys how I resin this piece with the leaf on top, because how pretty is that going to be? Oh, that's going to be gorgeous. But I will show you guys quickly what I'm talking about. So, alright, so you can see the reflection right here of the light over there. This is a canvas that I did a flip cup, and then I did a little bit of like a blow through with the Dutch, and then I put some tape around the sides, and then I put resin on top, and that gives it that super shiny topper. And I was thinking if I let this dry, put the leaf on top, and then encase it in frog tape, the green tape, and then pour the resin on top, it'll almost make the feather look like it's floating on top of the Dutch pour, which I think is just going to be gorgeous. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. Alright guys, thank you for joining me. If you want to join in my Facebook group, it's linked below, and I post pictures of progress on things. I post finished products so you can see what these videos turn into, what the end result is. Here's another one actually that I can reach. So this is a paint pour, and after it dried, I put the image of the wolf on there, and then I encased it in resin to give it this shiny topper. And then I'll take a Dremel tool and smooth out the edges because they're pretty sharp right now. And if you want to see how I finish things off, my progress on things, join the Facebook group. If you like, share, and subscribe, it helps my channel grow. I absolutely love making these videos. I have literally changed my house setup so that I can come to you guys a little more often. I know I've been kind of silent for a little while, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.